guys, my name's Taylor and I'm Taylor of Taylor Crochet, and today I'm going to do a market setup for you guys, and I'm just going to show you how to set up your tent, where to set your stuff. I'm going to give you an idea of what I use for my checkout stand and how I model my products and where I place things that I think will draw customers in and kind of all of that good stuff. Okay, so one of the best things I got at this market, at Yonkers closing sale, was this shelving unit right here. It's collapsible. It has hinges down there that allows this to fold up. Let's see if we can get this on here. And it's just so nifty, you guys. And one of the most important things to remember for craft fairs in general is that when you buy stuff for your booth, it has to be portable. It has to be movable, like something you can pack in your truck, because you're going to be packing tables and your checkout stand and shelving units and clothing racks, all your product, like your tent. All of that stuff takes up a lot of space. Luckily, my dad lets me borrow his trucks almost every time I need to do one, which is awesome. I highly suggest asking someone to borrow a truck, a van, anything, because trying to pack all this stuff in a car is hard. But it's doable, but it's hard. And it also helps when you bring it back to your house that you have a place to store it, because I know I try to keep all mine in like the corner of the garage. If it's all not collapsible and stuff, it's gonna take up a lot of room in our garage. So something to keep in mind, you want stuff that's portable, collapsible, and not heavy, because you do have to carry all of this around. Sometimes craft fairs don't let you drive your vehicles right up to the spot where you're gonna be setting up your booth, and you might have to carry your stuff from down the road. So the first step of my process is I like to get everything out and set it just outside. You guys are kind of wondering, like, do you have to do a mock setup before your market? No. Do I suggest it? Yeah. I think this helps, because if you don't do a mock setup in your own like front yard, backyard, your parents' yard, your garage, whatever, you don't have to pop up your tent necessarily, but just like mark out the space of how big like your booth space will be, and then just set up your props, because it eliminates you packing extra stuff you don't need in your truck or vehicle, whatever you're taking, which I think packing a truck is half the battle. I packed all my stuff the day before, thank God, because it was a struggle putting everything in there and making sure nothing gets broken and all the other stuff. I highly suggest getting moving blankets so that your more delicate like props or shelving units or things you don't want scratched are protected. But I like to get everything out. I don't necessarily get all my product out. I get some of it out just so I can get an idea of how it'll look on the different spaces and stuff. But you definitely want to get all your tables out, all the shelves out, any rolling racks you have, and that way you can start saying like, oh, I thought I was gonna have 2 tables and a rolling rack, but it turns out that I can only fit 2 tables and no rolling rack, or 1 rolling rack and 1 table. And you kind of have to figure that stuff out before you go, just to save yourself the hassle of trying to do it the day of. So this is all the stuff I brought out. I have this rack, which I got from the Yonkers sale. I'm sorry. I have mannequin I also got from the Yonkers sale. I have one that I have up in my crafting room that I'll probably bring down. That's actually lighter and a lot easier to travel than this one. And I got it from Amazon for like 55 bucks on Prime shipping, so I didn't pay shipping either. I got this ironing board at a store that was having also another like going out of business sale. If you find any vintagey stuff like that you want to use for your market, like that's a great idea. This is a rolling rack. I think this one's from Walmart. It was like 10 bucks. The con of it is it's, you know, this is plastic. The bars are metal, but this is plastic, which means that they can be easily broken. The wheels can fall off. But if you're gentle with them, they'll be great. They're great for markets. They're super lightweight. They break down. They're super easy to put back together. That's one of the reasons I have them. I have one up in my craft room right now. You cannot overload it with stuff or it will literally just fall apart and it will be a mess. But, and I don't suggest setting them outside of your booth. If you haven't, I would definitely keep them in a tent in a corner against a wall so that they don't get blown over, because if they're outside, like just a small gust of wind will blow those over. I have a wooden tub that was just in my garage that I found. They sell them at Michael's, Joann's, Hobby Lobby for like 10 to 12 bucks. You can usually get them for 8 to 10 with a coupon from any of those places. I have this little, I don't know, rack, I guess, that I got that I'm gonna put on top of a table, and I'm gonna use it for infinity scarves. I got that from the Yonkers sale, but I know that you can make similar ones out of metal piping and then a weighted bottom. So like, if I can find, again, Pinterest tutorials on that, I'll definitely link those. I have a chair and the compartment storage thing that my boyfriend's dad, Don, made for me. My pegboard, turnable, a table, my checkout stand, and this table I bought from Ashley of Hello Ash and Ivy. So I know that I like this table in the corner. That's one corner I always know. I always like my checkout booth on the side, in the inside corner. So you may be wondering, like, what about it being on the inside corner do you like so much? Well, some people like to put their checkout booths like right here on the outside, in the front, you can greet people. I like having it in the back because it kind of gives you a spot where you can sit. I have this stool from inside my house. There's a Pinterest tutorial of exactly how to make this booth. My boyfriend's dad made it for me in I think like a couple days, like less than a week I gave him, and he had it done. It's super cute, but in the shelves back here, you can stick like your purse under there, and it keeps your stuff off the ground. So like the first market I ever did, it rained the whole time. It was horrible. You know, I was so glad that I had this. It saved me so much. But you know, you can put extra bags, extra wrapping paper, you can put extra stock in here. So I just like the fact that I can do that, and it's not easily accessible to people browsing the market if I step away from my table, that, you know, someone might reach under there and grab your stuff. And also, if people come see me and it draws them in to talk to me, they have to come all the way in, and they, you know, pass all my stuff and browse it all. So that's just one of those things that I personally like. You know, people will have different reasons for why they do it, but that's why I do that. And this table right here, I like to take these beanies. I'll show you how I set them up. But I just like the way they look. So I am very intentional about how I lay out my colors, because it just draws your eyes. If you think about when you go into a store, they don't just have like all like the plaids with your bright. So like I have a lot of these bright colored beanies, but I also have a lot more of like these, this muted mustard yellow, which to me screams fall. So I'm gonna do more of my muted colors, like here together. I have this one who's more muted. These colors will go over on a different table, in a bin maybe, on a shelf maybe. But for this table display, I just really, really like the way that this looks with the brightness. Then you can just you don't have to put all of your stock out. You can keep some of your stock in a tub under the table, like that will have a tablecloth over it. So you can just put a tub in there, and so if your table starts looking a little empty, you can come up and refill it. But you don't want to do where you put too much stuff on there either. So definitely something to keep in mind. I have these signs that I got. You can get them from, like I said, Joann's, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Target sells them, Walmart sells them, Amazon probably sells them. Get them anywhere. You can find them anywhere from 10 to 30 bucks usually. And Ashley of Hello Ash and Ivy, who I bought this table from, had a great idea where she saran wraps her sign so that when she's transporting it, none of her letters go missing, because as I found out, I wish I would have had extra letters the first market I did, because you might want to change the wording of something. You see you made a typo. You might want to change the price on something that you put up. You might want to make a sign that says everything's 10% off, or just different things like that that you didn't think of beforehand. The other thing, like this is the #1 must-have item, is a mirror, because people like to look at themselves, they like to picture themselves wearing it, and I think that that is just so necessary. So I brought out some more stuff and I got a lot of it set up, and you may have noticed I set things down and I picked it back up and I moved them all around. It's because I like my pastel colors here. I have my drifter vest here, which are some longer ones. I'll probably make some more, but probably more in like the neutral tones, just because I like those tones best. I have my mannequin that has my drifter vest on it right next to the drifter vest, so that people can kind of picture themselves wearing it while they're looking at it. I have these. I liked all the muted colors together, so I did that. I have all these twist knit headbands down here, so I thought those would be cute. I actually have another blue yarn. This is the same yarn, but it's like a darker tone blue that I'll probably set here when I get all of those. My scarves are pretty neutral, so I set those up there. Did some bright white. This is just a crocheted headband that I wanted to put out here. I have my turn pegboard with scarves. I'm planning on making some more of these fabric scarves. So I'll probably do fabric scarves on one side, and then maybe towel hangers or just crochet scarves on that side. But for now, like if you didn't have anything on the back side, or if you just have like a freestanding pegboard that doesn't rotate, definitely would be an awesome thing to have. I mean, so many stores are closing right now, you guys. I cannot preach enough to go when they say selling now fixtures and stuff like that in the newspaper. Definitely go. If you don't look, I would look in the classified ads and other stuff like that, because they'll be there. Here I would put all of my fall colors like this, green, red, whatever. Basically all of these colors. These are the fall color headbands that I have done so far, are what I would want to put in that middle one. The bottom one's just a bunch of miscellaneous ones. Those might be extra stock, or if I end up bringing some summer tops or something, things that you want to put on a discount, you can put them in the bottom bin and then just put a little sign that says everything in the bottom bin, $15, $10, 10% off, 20% off. Shelf here. I don't know what I want to do. I have a mannequin head, because I don't know if you guys have seen Ashley of A Crafty Concepts awesome Claire bun beanie pattern. This is another one. I don't know if this is the Kate or the Juliet bun beanie pattern, but anyways, these for me work up super quickly and I love them. I have photos like last winter. If you look at my Instagram feed, it's all of Ashley's bun beanies, and mostly in this yarn, this gray color changing yarn. And then here I just have another rack. I have a bunch of summer tops like this one that I might still bring, but my market's in October, so you know, it's kind of still winter time. I don't know, I might just do, the table I normally use is a little bit longer than this. I might just do another table and get rid of the rolling rack altogether, even though I really like bringing them because they're just so easy. But you can also use hang signage off of one of these. I have a banner from Vistaprint that I got that would look perfect hanging from that. Then I have a chair, and you guys may be wondering, like, why does she have a chair in her tent? Well, sometimes when you do markets, you have friends and family that come and visit you, and sometimes I might put 2 stools back behind here because I might have my mom working my booth with me or someone else, and it's nice for those people to have a place to sit. Otherwise they stand right in the middle of your tent and they kind of, people walk by and say, oh, it looks a little crowded in there, I'm not going to go in there. So it kind of gives them a way to sit onto the side. Also, wives that drag their husbands along who don't want to be there, maybe they just want to take a seat, maybe they'll stay a little bit longer because they get to sit down, things like that. I finally gave in and put up my hair because I'm too sweaty. But I'm gonna start putting this stuff away. I took some pictures, I got a lot of videos. Hopefully out of all of that I'll be able to make a semi-decent YouTube video and blog post for you guys about this stuff.